Hey, Don here. Okay, back with another stream tonight. Working on Mom's PC upgrades. I just got through installing Fedora 27 again onto her hard drive and, excuse me, redivided everything, and I made basically 2/3 of it to be her operating system and then a third of it as a backup drive, because after dividing it in half last night, I realized, that's really more backup than she's going to need. And so I thought it'd be better that way. If she actually does run out of backup space, then I might get her a backup drive or something. I don't think she will. But I just thought that's an awful lot of wasted space. I was thinking of years to come, but, since Fedora 14 till Fedora 27, she's got she had a 250. She has a 2 terabyte hard drive now, but she had a 250 gigabyte hard drive divided right in half, and she still had, I don't remember, 5 or 10 gigabytes or so left on her Fedora drive, and I think there was a little less space left on the backup drive, but it also had Mint Linux on it too as a backup OS, which she never used, and I never needed to use it. I thought I might need it to fix something, but actually nothing ever broke on it, so it was good. Of course, if something does break on this new system, then I've got all these live OSs I can use. That's what I do. That's what I always do anyway. So it's installed now. I went ahead and did it again because when I tried to use that Blivet GUI partition editor that comes with the Fedora installer, I'm sure there's a way to save your work. I thought I had saved the work, but it hadn't, and I just went around and around with it and ended up with just one big partition with Fedora on it, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted it divided up with a backup partition. So I used gparted partition editor, added it the way my partitions the way I wanted them, and then left the 2/3 at the beginning of the drive empty once I was done for Fedora to automatically install on there. It's a lot easier to just have what you want, where you want your Fedora to be empty, and then everything works out real smooth. Used to, Fedora's installer didn't edit partitions well at all. It didn't even have that Blivet GUI in the kind of back-end terminal editor. It had a GUI interface, but it didn't have a graphic partition editor like it does now. But anyway, it would hang up. It would let you click what you wanted, and then it would just hang up and not work and not tell you what was wrong or anything. So I had learned to use the external partition editor, gparted being my favorite, and set things up the way I want it first. And leave, probably still it might be the best bet, I don't know for sure, to just leave where you want your Fedora blank. And anyway, watch the last video if you're interested in that, and you'll see all the details and all the flubs and dubs as well. My mind goes this way and that sometimes, and I get it done in the end, but I do go in circles sometimes. Okay, so let's go to Cam 2, because that way I can show it the machine booting up. Get my remote, my back scratcher remote. And yeah, I'm not going to switch over to any wireless mic. I have it going, but I'm not going to use it right now. Oh, I haven't made sure everything is still working, like audio and all that on my preview. It's still playing over there. Okay, I'm going to let it keep playing for right now. And until I'm kind of settled in as to where I'm going to be. Okay, now I can turn it on. Let's see, yeah. I'm still going to, well, let me just get it on. Use my remote. My back scratcher remote. Okay, I think it's funny. Okay, is that? Looks like my camera moved, or it wasn't as lined up as well as I thought it was. I think it'll be all right, though. Yeah, it was kind of cutting off just a little bit of the right side of the monitor, but that's okay. It's black anyway. It's not cutting off any of the screen. Yeah, you can't see it now, and the video doesn't look like. I could see it. Yeah, you can see it right now. That's all right. That's fine. It's hard to see when you got black borders and then the monitor bezel is black. It's kind of hard to see what's happening there. Okay, so I'm going to hit one of the up arrow key, any key will do it. And I want to see the terminal output as it boots up. I have that D-Link NIC card in there, network card, and yeah, I know you're not supposed to say NIC card, just NIC, right? Okay, so because the onboard ASRock Ethernet adapter doesn't work right now, hopefully it will work once I get. I'm kind of guessing that the drivers are just not in the Fedora repos, but maybe in the RPM Fusion. Whoops. Okay, so log in to her brand new system, and yeah, one of the first things. Well, first I'm going to install KRFB. So that I can do remote desktop, and then I can do a nice video of what I'm doing. So on the camera here, I know it's all blurry, but I can't. I could use her 10-inch tablet, but it goes to well, at least it does when I use three cameras for sure. It just gets in real bad delay. The audio's way out of sync. So anyway, I just didn't. I thought, well, if I have it, she can't use it or anything else. So, and I'm not sure when she ever when or if she wants to use it. So SU and this is hers. I was like, why is it asking for the password? Well, it doesn't ask for password when you're in live user, but when you have a installed user, yes, it asks for the root password. Okay, now we're root. Now we can install. And I'm just going to do it in the terminal because it's really quicker than messing around with Dragora. It takes forever to bring in all the. First thing it does is look for updates. So DNF space install KRFB, and that'll give you everything you need for a remote desktop server. Which uses VNC. It's VNC remote desktop protocol is what it uses. Waiting for process with Pt82 to finish. That might have been the update checker, the Dragora update checker. If it doesn't, it's not up there yet, so it may still be working and hasn't even showed itself yet, but it'll show itself up there in the right corner saying you have 700 and some odd updates. I might have to. Yeah, this is. It didn't do it in the live system on me, but okay, now it seems to be okay now. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, there it was. I was right. As long as it's, I mean, it can run as long as it doesn't interfere. That's fine. But so anyway, there's everything that it's going to install. I can't even hardly see them. It's a bit small text. But whoops. I wanted to make it smaller, not minimized. Okay, so anyway, again, 17 megabytes of download, 64 megabytes install size. Type Y for yes, and it'll install it. And people that really like to work in the command line, that's one thing they'll tell you is how much faster it is. And for the simple commands that I can remember, yeah, usually it is. And especially the readout you get of every little thing that's going on. But I don't remember, all the commands well, and I don't type well either, and my eyes swap numbers and letters, so no, I'm not afraid of the command line. I just don't like mucking around in it with complicated stuff. So I don't know who decided that everybody should say, oh, don't be afraid of the command line. It's kind of silly. It's not a matter of being afraid for most people. It's a matter of not wanting to mess around with it and waste time and learning things that aren't necessary, for one thing, if they're able to learn it. Most people really don't. I don't think. I think majority of people, that's why Windows became the most successful operating system in the history of the world here, our known world, is because Bill Gates realized people like clicking buttons and reading, they like a GUI, graphic user interface. They don't like messing around in the command line. So, and Linux has plenty of it. You can get by without hardly doing anything in the command line. There are a few things you can't hardly get by without. It actually used to be you could stay out of it even more than now. Some of the apps have fallen by the wayside. I guess, you know, they're all free and open source, and people didn't get donations, and they got tired of keeping them up. So, or they just moved on to something else in their life, you know. Okay, it's complete. KRFB is installed, so I'm going to close it. Once earlier, I tried to run it from. See, you have privileges here, and it said no, you're not going to run that as root. And I said, oh, okay. So don't try to just type, you know, KRFB in there. It won't work. Go ahead and go over here to your graphic user interface, your system tools, and find KRFB and open it from there. And I'm not going to set up the KDE wallet right now. I know I'm going to have to at some point, but I'm not going to do it right now. And I'm going to move it over to the workspace 4 for right now, so it'll be out of my way later. I'm going to enable remote access. And I mean unintended remote access, but I'm going to give her a password. Actually, it won't stay in there, will it? Won't until I set up that KDE wallet. Okay. Now, minimize. Yeah, I think I need to go to the firewall. I don't like that theme. I want to try to change it. If I can remember the one that I decided I like. Yeah, now I'm going to have to be given root password. Okay, now the only thing I'm going to change in the firewall right now is just to get VNC server working. Click on the VNC server and close it, and it's ready. I'm not going to do the actually first updates almost always hang up in the graphic user interface, so I usually do them in the command line. So I'm not going to probably have to close that Dragor to get that to happen too. Let's see. I'm going to exit it. That way I want to. Sometimes I see something up there and I'll click on it. I get curious and I forget that I told myself not to click on it. Okay, so now for me, I don't like that. I'm going to go to look and feel because I don't. Oh wait, we want to do remote desktop. Okay, let's do that first. Let's get back on my machine, and yes, I got the firewall going. Let's look at the IP address. Let's make sure that we. Okay, 100 megabits connection, 0.197. Well, then that's the same as it has been. So that D-Link network card is working good. It's not constantly trying to connect. That's the thing I wanted to mention. It's not constantly trying to connect because I unplugged the onboard. Let's look at edit connection. See, yeah, it still has the other one in there. The onboard is the ENPOS7. Never, because it's a new system and I never tried it on it because I have never plugged the cable in. And then the ENP1S8 says 2 minutes ago. Of course, it's live right now. But what happened to me last night, after I'd been working a long time and that kept trying to connect the whole time, it never did quit. The onboard, because I had it plugged into a cable. Well, it was on the same router as my little Dell 6000 laptop that I do my check my previews of my. I just realized this is still playing. I'm not even sure. Yeah, it was. Check my previews of my live stream, and I guess it filled up the cache on the router, and so I completely lost internet connection on that router. You know, the whole router just basically locked up, I guess. And so it didn't hit me until like later what had probably happened. But everything's fine today since I left that cable out of that. I didn't need it in there. I really put it in there to remind me of which, I wouldn't, because I had accidentally plugged the cable that I wanted to use into the wrong one. I just plugged into the onboard because that's what I'm used to, and then I didn't have no connection, and I was going in circles with that. So one thing then another. All right, so I'm going to go to desktop, and see, every time I change, that's why I wish, I don't think it's using up my bandwidth, so it's probably wouldn't be a good idea, even if That machine can go longer than I would have thought, that little laptop playing. Yeah, okay, it's got the IP, the last one I was on. So, now, we're on our remote desktop, and we should be good. Now, let me make sure the sound's all good and everything. Yep. Okay. Very good. Now, F8 on this Tiger VNC viewer will let me make it full screen. You actually can go to the options and all kinds of stuff there. I hadn't paid much attention to it. You can send a control and alt and send F8, control alt delete, refresh screen, all kinds of stuff in there. This one works pretty good, and I think probably the main reason is because the KRFB actually uses like a stripped down version of Tiger VNC server as the VNC server, so I'm sure they're written to work well with each other. The other one that I like the GUI interface better of, it keeps lagging nowadays. It didn't used to. Probably because I used to always use Vino VNC server and it worked better with it. But KRFB is the only one with a GUI interface now that's easy and quick to set up for your remote desktop. Used to use, I got spoiled by Genome 2. It had it built right into the desktop. You can just turn it on, turn it off, change the password and everything. Then later on, I learned to install Vino separately, and then I would try different, and then you had to edit. Let's see, I don't even remember. I had to go around and around until I finally realized that KRF. I used to get it working in Make Desktop until, and then I don't know, I forgot how, or things changed again in Fedora. Anyway, now the KRFB, which is a KDE app, is the only one that I know of that it's easy to do it with. So let's check this thing out. Okay, let's do a speed test before we start any other work. What was that first thing I wanted to do? RPM Fusion. Now I've got I went ahead and unplugged my, well, since I rebooted and I wanted to go right back to work, I went ahead and, the themes, yeah. I went ahead and unplugged my, let's leave the browser open and I'll change the themes. I want to see. Let's do the speed test first. Let's see. It's really funny, it's so funny, I get testmy.net. It's hard to remember until you kind of get it in your head. This is my new favorite. You can do auto test, or you can just do a download test or an upload test. It's kind of odd that it doesn't just have a upload and download test. Unless that's it right there. Let's click on that. Download, upload, combined. Oh, there you go. I didn't see why you couldn't do that quickly and easily. I just wasn't paying attention to the buttons. It's right there. Now you can do a one-time test like this, or you can do. I want to bookmark that. This is a whole new system now, so and it's a lot faster than going to that speedtest.net that I used to use. 62.9 downloads, 3 megabits up. That's what I would be expecting whenever I'm. Now, when I put that shortcut in there, it made all that show up, and it wasn't there before. But oh, there we go. Get rid of that. Oh, I want the menu bar. I'll have to change everything the way I like it in here. Okay. Now, it does have little blinking things in it, but they're not real bad. Okay. They're going to bug me, though. Let's go home. Yeah, that doesn't blink. Now, system, preferences, look and feel, appearance. Now, I'm going to get Blue Manta. Okay. What I'll have to do, well, I like traditional OK as far as the theme. And I'll leave the background alone. The fonts, I probably want to make them a bit bigger. Can't remember how big I want them. Probably 11, I guess. We'll go to 11 and then leave it for now. And I just usually set them all the same. I don't pay a lot of attention to all the different fonts, just the same size. It works out for me. See, that made it look bigger in the browser, and then I don't have to. If you do it, the bigger you make them in the browser within its setup, the more it may not work right in different pages. Now, interface fonts. Where is the? I think you go to details under fonts to get to the. No, that's not it. Background, not there. Takes a while for that to come up. Customize. You go on theme, you got to go customize. Okay, it's already custom because I changed the font size. Customize. Traditional. Okay, now window border icons. That's what I want to change. Which ones do I like the best? Oh, you know what? I don't know that it has enough. I'm going to leave it on made icons for now, but there's another one that I found that I really liked. So I'm going to leave it like it is because, see, I've got what I want. This is the main thing I want. Here at the top right. The minus for minimize. The little box for to make it either, you know, like that or full screen, and then close. That's all I want. Now, I don't need the web browser anymore right now. So, yeah, when you're doing a system for somebody else, and of course, she's used to the way I do it because that's the way I set her old system up. So it's fine to do what I like. But somebody that doesn't know how to do any of this stuff, absolutely zero of it, then you got a lot of work to do. And these are just the apps that are on here. Ready, and first right off the bat, I'm going to rearrange. We're not going to be using clause mail. I think that is. What is that? Clause mail. I use Thunderbird, so I'm going to remove that. Now I'm going to just move, not remove. Oh, these are locked, so you got to. These icons here, I usually leave them unlocked because they generally stay in place pretty good. Once in a while, they'll go crazy and move on you, and you have to rearrange them. These over here I keep locked because they will move. You'll get them all way over here and stuff. But I want to start with that there, and right now that's the only file manager, and then that, and then as I go later, I'm going to install apps. Now, what's the next thing? Yeah, okay, I'm going to plug in. Now I remember, let me plug in my my backup drive in here because it's got some scripts that I may want. I'm starting to get hungry. Chairs fight me. I'm about ready to throw this thing on the campfire. I don't think it would burn though. Well, part of it would. I don't have a campfire though, and I'm not going camping anytime soon. Well, wouldn't that stink, all that foam rubber and stuff? Anyway, no, it's very comfortable, but the wheels are about broke. I've talked about that before, but anyway, it's driving me crazy. One more thing I need to fix. I'm reloading my preview after I did. You can see my Seagate expansion drive is mounted up, and when I was working on the Fedora 20, let's see, no, what system was I working on for her? Oh, I don't even remember now what system I was on, but I began to build scripts that that I could install her a brand new system from, you know, without me having to try to install every app one at a time. And I was using group install stuff. Group install commands. Okay, so I'm going to open up this only file manager I've got to open up right now. Go to my Seagate drive, and let me see. Preferences. Let me see if I can tell this to do what I want it to do. I want to see hidden in backup files. I always need to know that. Behavior. Ask before moving files to trash. Yes, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. Display. Size none. I want owner at least. Okay. Show file sizes in IEC units. I don't even know what that is. Name, type, date modified, owner. Okay. Preview. Leave that like it is. Media. I won't mess with all that right now. It's something she wouldn't really ever use anyway. Extensions. There it is. Icon view. I don't want icon view. I want list view. Range by name. Now that's good. Now I think you have to close it and open it back up to get it to show it that way. Let's try that again. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go to the Seagate drive. You can't do, this one doesn't have, oh there it is, extra pane. I thought it had extra pane. Okay, let's go over here on that side. I'll just say documents, I think is what I want. Okay, now on the left side, yeah, I'm going to want documents, I think. You can type and it'll go, you know, down through the folders like it does in Crusader. Now, you just look. Let's go by date modified first. Yeah. I think it could just be in the main documents folder. I'm not sure. What I'm looking for is a script that I started. I think it might have been on the Fedora 26 system, and I did back it up before I took that drive out of all machines, you know. Doesn't make sense that that's the one it would be in, though. Still not seeing the file extensions. Type. I don't want the size there. I want it over there. I guess you got to do that some other way. You can't just drag it. Okay. ASRock hardware lister report. Okay, so let's go to, I'm in documents. E-machines documents. Don't think it was in there. No, don't think so. Maybe better if I do a search. Let's go back to ABCs because it's not really. Don't think it, I didn't get it organized. I didn't take. Why isn't it taken? There we go. Let's see. Whoops. Oh, I got out of documents. Fedora. It's a little trickier in here. It'll move on you. It's not doing it now. See, I start typing. There, now it's doing it. Why isn't it moving like it? Oh, the blue line. It's not doing like Crusader. As I roll, it was moving down to the next folder. Crusader stays on the one you're on, and if you roll your mouse wheel, it just moves the window. Fedora 26, Fedora 23. Oh, maybe it was in DNF. Yeah, DNF. Because I started a new set of scripts. There we go. DNF. Install scripts. Okay, now maybe I'm getting somewhere. And I need to, can I make that wider? There we go. Okay. Lenovo i5, Fedora 23. No. let's go to Documents, search for DNF, see if we can do a wildcard. SH. Let's do a wildcard in front of that. I'm not sure if it works in this searcher or not. Doesn't look like it does. So we'll try DNF space SH and see if that works. Is it going to work at all? Oh, I made it go away. That doesn't work. Okay, just try a DNF. Now, you gotta be. Maybe it hasn't done any, maybe it's got to crawl the directories before it's gonna work. I mean, I just started this thing up. Well, before I have the reason I wanted to see it is because, dang it. Guess I should have looked for it while I was in my machine before I unplugged it. Okay, let's go back. Just go to the Documents folder. Get rid of that search again. Doesn't seem to be working. Oh, that's her Documents folder. Is that what was wrong? I think so. I think that's what was wrong. Yep. That didn't work, but I don't know if it's jumping. I think it's jumping out of the directory that I'm in. I really think it is. Definitely not working. Pretty aggravating. I don't know. Well, let's just... You already went to DNF install scripts. Anything else? No. Maybe it's in the Yum apps install files then. Let's just go by date modified again. Get the newest ones on top. Okay. I never thought of not being able to, I didn't think about not being able to search. Having trouble searching. Let's go to the top of that list and see. It shouldn't be real old, I wouldn't think. Okay. It's not. May 1. Okay, that's today. This is my main backup drive. Everything I have, I back up to this drive. So I gotta be careful too, so I not lose anything. DNF install script. See, that's right there. But that's all Fedora 23 stuff. There, Fedora 23 spins, groups. Okay, now this is what I'm looking for. Now let's. It won't hurt to open it with LibreOffice, I don't think. Normally I like to open it in text editor, but I really just want to look at it right now. I'm sure I have a text editor. There's one on here right now. Okay, so yeah, DNF Y install, skip broken, Kden live. See, I don't need all that for her. Thunderbird. A lot of it wouldn't matter. Check root, get some Crusader, Thunderbird's in there again. Yeah, the one I was cleaning up, I was doing just for Mom. This one is mine from I built for or from my Fedora 23 system. Group install, audio production, sound. I think it was for the 23 system. All these different groups I don't want for her. So this is not the one I want. And then I commented out all the other stuff. There's these commands you can run. They're actually here somewhere. Yeah, DNF group list, and that will list. Found a really good article and I followed it. But anyway, that will list your groups and everything. And then I picked. And what I did was just took that output turn it into commands. Just add DNF group install in front of it, you know, and then it will install it. If this is not the one I want anyway, this is a shorter one. It's not super long. But let's see what this is. Yeah, see, since it's a script, it wants to either run it or display it. What if you display it? Okay, that'll work. That opened it up in a regular text editor. Pluma. Okay, yeah. Okay, now this is just a short hand types install script. Should have pretty much the same thing as that other at the beginning of that other one. But what I was looking for is one of them I added the commands to install RPM Fusion repos. And that's what I was looking for. I hope I didn't lose that. That was a lot of work. I mean, I guess it'd still be on those jobs. I haven't erased them or anything, so. Unless it was in this Fedora 27 that I just got through erasing, but I don't think so. Actually, that was probably the one I did do that in, but I backed it up, I thought. Okay, so let's go on down there to just the files by themselves. I might have been starting out right. See, with that much stuff, you just can't find things, you know. That's why I was depending on my search. You can't even get to the end of the folder list. Catawares and map. Of course, there's all files coming from everywhere, so, you know, you got a lot to look through. Hardware lister. Yeah, that's old stuff now, so I didn't realize just how old it was. Wait a minute, is that in the wrong order? No. 2018. So there's only a couple of files in there that are from this year. So it's not there. I don't understand why I can't search. Maybe I just can't search this drive in here. When I try to search, let's see. Just didn't find nothing, but I know I'm searching for terms that are there. They should be showing up. I really think it's gone to this documents folder. That's what I think's happened. Not sure. I can't, when I click that, oh, I see, file tab location. Can't tell. Okay, so yeah, I don't think there's any other search on here by default. On my system, well, there is a search that comes with Mate Search Tool. There it is. Maybe this will work. Just close that for right now. Now, let me get off of there and see if I can search the Seagate drive. But I don't want to just, you got to hit Other and then go to Seagate. See, doesn't have the black icon when you do that. There, and then, why not? This search tool can't do that, I guess. Oh, now it's doing it. I guess I was going faster than it could work. Where's documents? Okay, now, because if I try to search that whole drive, that's big. Okay. Let's just see if it works first. Yeah, it's going to work. Oh, good. I was really starting to get kind of frustrated, and I couldn't figure out why my searching was not working. I don't ever use the search in that file manager because I don't use that file manager. Now, I can narrow it down from here most likely. You can't use wildcards in here, I don't think. It's not done searching yet either. but I think is it by the newest ones or not? Let's make sure it is. Now it is. Yeah, I've already been in that DNF install scripts. Fedora 26 app install files. That might be where I need to go, but let's see what these say. Fedora 23 group list. There's the one DNF group list. So I'm going to say that might be it. There. DNF group list. DNF list apps. Fedora 23, Lenovo i5. DNF installed apps. For moms. Here it is. Display. Here it is. RPM Fusion. Yeah. Okay. So, and it doesn't have a whole lot. And that'll get me started with RPM Fusion. And it'll do automatically do, because you can download the RPM and run it, but first you got to install the right stuff now in Fedora. You didn't used to, but now you have to install the right stuff just to be able to install from an RPM file. So it's easier just to use the commands. Okay, and then I have Cheese, Firefox, Claim. This is for Mom, so there shouldn't be anything in here that she doesn't need. Yeah. And it's just, I was just getting started on it. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to copy this whole folder, get the extra pane going here. On this side, I'm going to go to Documents, and then I'm going to go up a directory on here. There. Copy. Copy to. I don't want to move it over there. Other pane. Now it'll have her file permissions and everything that it needs. Now let's see if I can open the terminal. I think maybe it'll open it right there. Yep, it sure did. Okay, now let's make this a little wider so that it'll show that. That should be plenty wide to be able to see what's going on there. Oops, it's too low. Somehow it drug further. I didn't think you could even do that. Okay. SU. Okay, now we got root privileges. Now, which one do I want to run? For Mom's PC, right? Fedora 23 apps. I won't want all those. That'd be too many. DNF. Fedora 26 installed apps. That would be too many. Okay, so yes, that's what I want. Properties. Copy. Should be able to just close that. Now then, // right click, paste, hit enter. There we go. Let's make it big enough that we can see. Oh, it just if you do it, sometimes some different terminal apps, it won't automatically get the same width as the window once you change it. So we got 17 packages and then 757 to upgrade. So it's gonna do. Looks like it's gonna do a whole Yum update, but that's fine. Yeah, that many packages, I think it's going to be doing, it says upgrade, so I think it's going to go ahead and do the first, not Yum update, but DNF update. But that's fine. It may take longer than I had anticipated, but that's fine. So we got DNF Dragor updaters getting an update, Python 3. I'm just kind of, when it stops for a second, I'm seeing what I can see everything. Yeah, 774. So it's going to be doing that first update that I wanted to do. Oh, I know why, because that's in my script. I remember I always do that. So I had DNF update to be like the first command probably on there, which is a smart thing to do. That's what they tell you to do, the advisors on the interwebs. So it's a wise thing to do. I've learned that, even without being told. So, but that's fine, because that does everything I want done right now. I want to get RPM repos installed. I want to get RPM Fusion repos set up. They're not actually installed. It just sets them up. It's just a it's more of a setup script, really, what it is. And I guess I can close that file searcher now. It doesn't need to be running. And I'll leave that open. Okay, now what I was thinking is might be able to open this up, display. Well, it's not going to really, the way it is, you're not going to be able to see them both. Well, I can do this. There we go. I was wanting to pull it somewhere else and look at it while that's running. I want to be able to see what's going on. So there's my DNF update. Now, I probably should put DNF update again at the bottom. But I won't try to change that now, of course, because this is actually the actual file I'm running right now. I won't do anything to it. But it smells like the heater's running. Surely it ain't running. It smells like the heater's running the first time it's turned on in the winter, you know. Must be somebody cooking something in the oven or something. So, and the air conditioner's bringing it in here because I heard it. It's on. It just came on. So yeah. Anyway, my RPM Fusion repos will be getting installed. The free and non-free is what they're called, because some of them are completely free, as in open source, and some of them have some mixed in with proprietary but free to no fee to pay applications. And Fedora only uses completely open source applications, so they don't put that RPM repos in Fedora, but you can put it in there yourself. And then these are some apps, hand-picked apps that I've put in this script, and I was just getting started on it. And I just put the comments after each thing just to kind of divide it, the sections up. The number sign is called commenting it out. If you didn't want something to happen, then except for up here at the top, that doesn't work that way with that part, that bin bash init and everything. That actually does tell it that it's a script and for it to run this stuff. So in the bash terminal, but it opens up. Well, I opened it up to make terminal myself to do it in. If you tried to, you could run this file. Let me close this. You could right-click and say run. Well, in this case, I guess if I said open, okay, open, I would say run instead of. Well, you'd say run in terminal. Well, you could just run it or run in terminal. I would run it in terminal so I can see what's happening. Definitely, you may have to answer questions. As a matter of fact, even though I have it set up with. Let's try it one more time. Even though I have it set up with DNF Y install, it says yes to all questions. There's still some that may be so important that it will stop anyway. If you have a long script with lots of commands like these others, then you probably will have to answer some stuff. But I still don't remember that exact set of commands. I just copy and paste them in there at the beginning of every script I make. I found it somewhere years ago. And there's a lot more variations you could do if you knew what you were doing, but I get done what I need to get done. So yeah, it's pretty simple once you just get this part right here. And those group lists and all that, I'll get into that, and I'll figure out exactly which groups. I don't want to install a whole bunch of groups because I want to keep per system. I'm not going to sit here and install things one at a time though, but I will try to keep per system minimal, because she never uses all the extra stuff, and it just makes it harder for her to you know, if she did try to go to the applications menu and find something, if there's a whole lot of stuff, then she, you know, she can't find it. So right now it's upgrading. See, it's doing the updates. Now that says running script. That's part of the update process. That's not my script. And it's on a, well, there's a 141 of 1535 things to do right now, because, you know, there was 700 some odd apps to upgrade, but then there's all the dependencies to upgrade. But it's upgrading right now, so that means it's already done the downloads and it's doing the install process right now. It's going pretty fast. It does have an awful lot to do, though. I'll go ahead and get into one of those group files for a minute while that's working. I'm getting so hungry that actually, well, it's, what time is it? I think it's 2. No, it's 11:49. Why does it say, oh, May 2, 0049? The clock isn't set on there. I'll do that later. Kind of, with all, something as important as these upgrades going on, I don't want to mess around with stuff until all that's done. Okay, DNF group list. DNF list apps for 23. Don's install script. That's the one, an article I made a script from. I don't really use that one anymore, but it did help me get me. I think that's where might be where I got the commands. So that was from Fedora 24, I think. No, 24 things to do. I don't remember what version of Fedora it was talking about at the time. Spins groups. Let's see. Okay, apps, spins, groups. I think that's the only one that's actually a ASRock DNF install. Yeah, let's look at that one. I usually don't ever use that display. I really never use that. I hadn't really caught on. I hadn't paid enough attention. I never thought I needed to. I didn't know it would just, of course, I have my favorite text apps anyway. So I would have, I usually pick the app I want. I usually open in Crusader, and Crusader just opens it up in what I like. Or I right click and say open with. So here's one that same way. It has starts with RPM Fusion. It has a few apps. I don't look like it's as many. And then it has DNF group install, audio production, all the things that I like. See, like administrative tools I would want on Mom's machine. Editors, probably. LibreOffice, that's already on there. But if you go ahead and run it, it may finish it out and add a few little perks and things that you might want. I already have Compiz, but like medical applications, I might put those on there just hoping she might want to learn to use them sometime. No, the network servers, no. That's mostly apps that control network servers. I don't think it installs servers. It might. Office and productivity. Now, there's some apps I don't even know the names of that, but could be useful for Mom. I'll see. Development tools, no. System tools, yes. These have, now this is the little command to list the groups. Sudo DNF group list. Now, I don't know, maybe you have to use sudo. I used it. This might be one of those cases where you really do need to do that. You may just be able to, if you're already SU'd into root, then you might just do DNF group list. But that was how that article showed to do it, and I did it exactly by the article. Available environment groups, minimal install, Fedora server, workstations. I mean, you can really just completely convert a system. Now, I would... so let's say you wanted another. I always like to have at least one other desktop, a backup desktop. And if it's a system, like if it's a dual core, you're probably going to have to, and you're running Fedora 27, you're going to have to use XFCE or LXDE or something. It can't handle Mate very well at all. And of course, I installed with Mate to start with. Of course, you can pick what, you can try out all the desktops. That's a whole, all of them right there. They're available by the group commands anyway. and Sugar, which is made for little kids or something. Development and creative workstation. I'm not quite sure what's all in there. Web server, if you want to turn your machine into a web server. Infrastructure server, that's a whole nother thing. Like I think that has a DNS server in it and stuff. Just a basic desktop. I think that's supposed to be desktop, isn't it? Desktop? I don't know. I mean, if that's right, then don't change it. But that looks like a misspelling. Installed groups. Those are groups that were already installed, I guess. Those 3 were already installed when I ran that. Available groups, administration tools, authoring and publishing. Now, you see there's some stuff in there that might be, some of it might be useful for Mom. I'm just going to have to go through it and finish her script out, and I'll just run it again. And things that are already done, it'll just say already done. And if it needed updating, it would update it. So office and productivity might be the one I would go ahead and do. Some of this may be duplicates from what was above too, because what I was doing is copying it and pasting it up there, I think, at this particular time, instead of just uncommenting each line. And see, you could re-edit this over and over to each machine that you want to work on. See, and see down here, I pasted some stuff down here. Windows file server, I wanted that for some reason. Virtualization, I think I just wanted to try that out. Applications for XFCE, yeah, see, I wanted that stuff. I think I found that somewhere. I was running XFCE desktop on that machine, Fedora 20. It says Fedora 23, but that was probably, I was using it on the Fedora 26 machine, I think. Whoops, let's see. No, everything's going good. It's going up, getting there. Okay, and what's the other thing? Fedora 26 installed apps list. Okay, let's look at that. And that's a text file, but it still asks me what I wanted to do in that way. I just double clicked on it. Okay. Now, installed packages. Now, where's the command for that? I guess I don't have the command in here because this is just a text file. Yeah, I don't have those commands right handy, but there's commands. I'll try to show them in a minute that you run to get this text list, and it'll write it to your temp folder and then just copy it over to where you want to keep it. It'll list every app that's installed on your system in this format right here, and then I use OpenOffice and the OpenOffice or LibreOffice and the spreadsheet app, and I've made videos on that to clean this up and get rid of this column, and then you can turn it in. You can just copy and paste. You can just turn that into a script once you get it all cleaned up. That's how I used to always make all my scripts, to put all my same apps on a new system. But there is one thing you run into, like if you change from a x86-64, maybe you want to go an older machine that's 32-bit, or some of them will say I think some of them even say AMD in there. I'm not sure. But I've been thinking recently that I should probably go ahead and build one like normal, like with all this in here, but then try to, when you're using I'd have to show it, but get it to say, make a dot as a delimiter, I think it's called, and it'll turn it into another column, and then you can just delete everything after acetone ISO. And some apps won't install right that way, and some will, so that's why I would do both. And if it's one that's not available for your architecture, it'll just say can't be installed. But you could get into, it's kind of a dirty way to do it. You could get into some mess. I haven't tried that yet anyway. I've just been leaving every full file name as it is, and if it installs, good, and if it doesn't, oh well. So you get like 90% or so of what's in your script, or maybe more, 95, 98%. Let's see, let's look at this group list text. Let's see if that one has, I think it has the command. Oh, that's the group list. Yeah. Okay, so this is how I started. I just did SU, DNF group list, DNF group info. Okay, this is, yeah, then next try DNF group info, then try DNF group list v hidden. That's how I got those group lists. And that's what I would do. I would just run it just like that. Run those, see what you get, then run those, and then you can save it. You can either edit, select all, and copy and paste into a text file. Some of these, see, it says save. Well, this is a text file. Some of these, I don't think Make Terminal will do, but some terminals you can say file. Oh, this one will save contents. I can save all this output as a file, text file, or whatever kind of file you want, and then you can just build that into a script after you've ran all these commands in there. And see, this is what I did. I ran the commands, DNF group list, and see it shows available, installed. There's only one, administration tools. And then I went on and kept going, and then I did DNF group info, office, and productivity. And it showed, oh, that's the info. Okay. Yeah, this was when I was learning, like if you want to know what's in a group info. See, and that tells you what's in there. That can be really helpful too that way. I mean, you can just leave all that in there. And I figured out a way in OpenOffice to comment every line. It was really, I figured it out once, and then recently I figured it out again. Actually, I made a video, I think. Yeah, I did. I made a video. I'd have to go find that video myself and watch it again. To figure out how to comment every line out, and then because you got all these thousands of lines pretty much, it'd be much easier to uncomment than to manually comment every one of these lines, right, to keep them from being a command that will run part of the script. And DNF group list v hidden. Now then you're going to get some hidden groups that don't show up in the normal list commands. Loaded plugins. I'm just going to flip on through here. I'm not going to be detailed about it. Available environment groups. And see, I just took and put the right command in front of them to turn them into an install command. Now, you saw that I wrote like DNF group install in front of each one. You could, if they were like lined up the way the beginning of my scripts were, where it was they were right in a row with just a space in the middle, then each one of these could, I don't know. No, that wouldn't work with these. With these group names, it won't work. Well, you got to put the, yeah, it probably would. I think you got to put parentheses, not parentheses, the italics. I can't say, no. I'm sorry, I can't remember I don't have it open right now. The two little lines, 1, 2, 1, 2. That makes it into the command. The rest of it won't work just like that. It has to have those quotation marks. There you go, quotation marks on there. And you can really, I think you can use either the double quotations or single quotations, and it'll work. Whoops, I thought something. That file manager crashed. Or maybe it happened because the updates made it, needed to be closed or something, and it crashed. I mean, it was running while I was doing the updates. I don't know. But, oh well, I don't need it right now anyway. I won't open it until this is done, I guess. Yeah, because it's 1200 to 1500. It's not that far. And then more available groups. But it's a bunch of groups that you wouldn't see if you didn't run that hidden groups command. And a lot of interesting stuff. And I'll tell you what, I thought I knew. I used to just go in the GUI app manager and just search and look and read and read and read. And of course, I know when I see this stuff, I know I got a real good idea what it is because I spent years doing that. But boy, this is the quickest way I've ever seen to sift through your groups of applications and application names and all that stuff. Wish I'd learned these commands years ago. Found this article. It's been around for I guess as long as Fedora's been around, or I mean, probably at least since I started in 05. And then DNF group info workstation product environment. Okay, that's the bottom of it. Let's see. Common network C modules. let's see. Fedora workstation for laptops and PCs. Okay, I'm not quite. Oh, I guess that's Fedora workstation that they're talking about, and it's telling you what's in it right here, which would give you Genome 3 now. You know, not Genome 2. Or they retired Genome 2 a long time ago. But I use Mate, which is a fork of Genome 2. It works just like it, looks like it. I guess optional groups, ARM tools, those could be useful. ARM processor. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to open that file manager again. Yeah, it's getting really close to being done anyway. Since it crashed, I just want to make sure this works without this updates and installs work without any problems. And I'm getting hungry enough that once this is done, I think, and I'm kind of tired anyway. No sense in making myself, you know, stay up and keep doing this. I mean, I already had enough trouble tonight going in circles, and if you get tired, then you're going to mess things up. So get too tired. So I think I will. After this is done, I'll quit for the night, go eat my supper, and watch some Beverly Hillbillies and relax for a little bit, and try to get in bed before it's too awful late. I'd sleep about 3 last night. I think I didn't get up till probably about 11 or 12. 11, you know, 12 noon. It's there. It's at the bottom of it. I thought it was going fast enough that it'd be done pretty soon. Put you in the middle now. Looks more balanced that way. Now watch it be. It's just really getting started, and I just forgot the next step. But I think it's pretty well done, hopefully. Cat write error, broken pipe. I don't know what that it was, but scriptlet, not a script, but a scriptlet, a whole bunch of scriptlets. That's just automatic during the update process. I don't really know how that works. Had what icon theme got updated. Something I recognized. Genome themes. See, you're still. You see, this is Mate Desktop, but it's still using. I imagine those are Genome 2 themes, not Genome 3 themes. I would think. I don't know. It does say 3.22. I don't know. Really don't know. I actually thought it was fixing to come up and say done, but it's not done yet. It's doing some more stuff. I don't sit and watch it. I go off and I try to make it full screen. I hope it's not trying to. Oh, it could be my remote desktop is not responding well. I don't know. Well, the whole thing, yeah, I'm going to quit giving it stuff to do. I don't think it's the remote desktop. I think it's the, I can find out by doing that. Oh, it may be. Or unless the machine locked up, man, that'd be bad during an first update. I'm not going to try to force it to do anything. I'm going to wait. Well, I can disconnect from the remote desktop and connect back to it in case that's what's going on. Let's see. Because that could be what's going on. Let me move to the. Let's move to the camera and switch over there just to see if if the machine's in trouble. Come on, there we go. Now. No, it's not the machine. Good, I was worried. Oh, it's actually waiting for me to answer. Okay, installing RPM Fusion. It is finished, just like I was hoping. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Somewhere up in there, installed, upgraded. complete. Metadata check. Everything's good. Just says install. So there's one more thing it wants to install. Oh, the RPM Fusion. Okay, now let me try to redo my. Let's make sure the KRFB didn't crash or anything. Might have. It's not coming up. Let's leave it like that. Now I'm going to try to disconnect and reconnect to KRFB, and if I can do that, then we'll have still have a nice video of it. Otherwise, I'll have to give up and just finish that work. Okay. FH. Exit viewer. Okay, then I'll open it back up. Okay. No. No route to host. Yeah, it lost its connection while I was sitting there watching it. So the only thing I can do is do it on the camera right now, and then it's probably just something to do with the update process that killed KRFB. That's what I'm going to guess, because it usually doesn't crash, really. Sorry. That's the nature of the game, and that's why we love them and hate them. Just like women, these computers. Do what they want to, when they want to do, when they want to, if they want to. Is that what they say about us? Okay, I hit Y for yes and hit enter. And I better watch out what I'm saying. Thing won't work at all. Oh, I guess it didn't. I wasn't in the window. Okay, so I wanted to check everything, make sure my stream was working. Let's see, are you working? I've been talking. I see it. Oh, I think I accidentally. Yeah, it was working. Somehow I paused it. I wasn't. So I had to click in the window, hit Y for yes, hit enter, and it's did the RPM. So it saved the RPM Fusion, even though it was at the top of the script. It saved it for last. It did the no. I did the updates first. That's the very first command. Okay. And then it did RPM Fusion. Now, that's that other set of packages and its dependencies, I think, the ones that I have hand-typed in there. So now they're installing. They're going fast, though. I was going to say I'll try to go get the remote desktop working again, but it's going so fast I don't think. KRFB's frozen. I'm not going to. I don't want to risk. I mean, for all I know, since it hasn't completely installed the first set of updates, for all I know, it could crash the machine or something. I don't want that happening during install, so I'm not going to do anything. Just leave it just like it is and let it finish. At least you can kind of tell, what I'm talking about here. You can't read it like you could a while ago, but at least I got through all those things I was showing details on. And I'll probably just go ahead and reboot just to see it running good before I quit. Yeah, it's doing Chromium, Clam AV, yeah, all that stuff that I had in my script. Seems to be toggling back and forth between different apps at the bottom there. The bottom one. It's at 1. Yeah, it's going faster than I can read it off, but it's getting there real quick. Yeah, it's at the last one. So now it'll have Chromium, which is always good to have. You need two browsers, and Chromium. I don't like Chrome. Chromium's fine without, as long as you don't put all your bookmarks in there. Then it'll slow the machine down. It won't run anymore. But if you just use Chromium. It's pretty lightweight. It's lighter weight than Chrome, I believe. Yes, it is. I know it is. And Firefox is my favorite browser. And actually, Chromium, just clean with no bookmarks or any add-ons at all, it actually seems to be more lightweight than Firefox. Chrome is just too heavy of a resource user. And of course, Chrome is built on Chromium. Chromium is the granddaddy of Chrome, but am I saying it right? Chromium is the granddaddy of Chrome. Yeah, I said it right. Okay. And it used to be real hard to install, but now you just say DNF install Chromium, or go to the GUI and search for Chromium, and it'll just install. Used to, you had to do all this stuff that I did it once or twice maybe, and I just didn't want to mess with it every time I built a system. It was too much trouble. So I would always use Chrome as my backup browser, and I tried to use Opera many times, and it's just it's always crashed. In Windows, in Linux, I don't care what, it always crashed. And it didn't support it never did support, you know, the latest media codecs and stuff. And actually, does it run? Chrome, I don't think Opera runs in Linux. Now I can't even remember. Seems like I did put it in Linux before. Maybe not. Anyway, I just remembered it because I saw it in that mini XP that I booted on here a couple of days ago. But even though it's 196 of 196, it's 562 megabytes. It's at 300. Oh man, it's 360 something kilobytes of 560. Maybe that's the total of 567 megabytes, because it says ETA 8 seconds. Yeah, so it must be that's the total or something. I don't know. We'll see. Not quite sure. There we go. Yeah, it was forecast, NFRPM Fusion, imported GPG keys. Used to have a lot of trouble with, with Chrome, used to have trouble with the GPG keys and stuff, but now this all seems to be set up and working. Well, at least with Chromium it is. And I put ClamAV on there, so we'll be able to scan any downloaded files that anybody emails her or anything, because they wouldn't, you know, they most likely won't hurt this system, but if she sent them to somebody else, it would. Or she doesn't really know how to do that. She doesn't know how to do the scan or to forward. Well, I mean, she could forward an email probably if she could remember how to do that, but she doesn't remember how to attach files usually. That's the only good thing. The things that she doesn't know how to do keeps her out of trouble. I helped somebody, a neighbor, that knew how to do some stuff that would get her in big trouble. Well, the biggest problem she had is anything that said click me, she'd click on it. And she was running a Windows system, and she was constantly having virus trouble. But anyway, back on Chromium stuff again. It seems to be jumping around, and instead of sticking with one type of app at a time, it just seems to be jumping around. It's amazing how many, just that little handful of apps I had in my script that I added there. It's amazing how many dependencies come along with it. So, Qt WebKit, DocBook, Port Audio is one of them, VLC, Media Player, KF5 widgets. Some of that stuff I don't even know what it is. GwenView, now that's my favorite image viewer, and you can edit. It does pretty just about enough editing, you know, not anything like GIMP, but there we go, Crusader. File Manager. I'll finally have that. Now, when I did install Sava, but just the viewer, I think, not the server. That helped. Like if you want to share printers, you can also use it for. It's an easy way to share printers too. ClamAV again, Cheese Webcam, and. She's never actually used it. Well, she's never really used a webcam, except for I did get her to talk to her, my niece, her granddaughter, on her tablet once or twice. with Skype or something. She really enjoyed that once she saw how cool it was. She was talking to my sister and her daughter, and seeing the great-grandson over, well, they're up in Wichita Falls, and she was getting to talk to him. And she's like, oh, that's cool. And I've been trying to get her to do it since I built her first computer, but she would never try it. But once they got into it, and they said, hey, do this, and she did it. But she hasn't done it again because she didn't remember how to do it. But they haven't tried to call her or anything on it. But I did install Skype. Well, what did they have? They actually have iPhones. And how did they do that? I think they tried to call her on the iPhone app, and she didn't have it. And so then I said, well, get on, I guess, Skype. I don't know. But I remember she did it once. I don't know what she was talking on. She could use Skype or Google chat thing. That's pretty much all I got set up for. Okay, it's complete. And now, yeah, that is just froze up. Let's see if we can close it. KRFB. It's not responding. Okay, I'm going to force quit and try to open it back up. Okay, because I want to try to show the rest of this. Yeah, bend over and made me burp. Okay, probably was pretty loud. I was right by the microphone. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, ma'am. Pardon me, excuse me. Okay, if it'll open up. It may not open up till I reboot. It's definitely taken a while. If it won't, then we'll, forget about all that. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and try this file, save contents, documents. Let's make a new folder. 27 ASRock 8300 for info. Now, let's see. Terminal output, Dons. PC text. Oh, and the date. 05. It's a new month. 0502 now. It was when I started all this. It was 050218. It was 0501. I hit enter, but it didn't save yet. I don't think it took. There. For some reason, you have to click on save. Okay. Now, I wanted to kind of show more details of what's going on, but KRFB won't open up, so I'm going to have to reboot. Of course, I could show it in the text file, but I mean, it's not some big deal, really. Yeah, that would have spread out across the whole screen if I would have had it open. I think it would have. Maybe not. Some terminal apps, if you widen them up, then it'll go ahead and fit the whole width. Sometimes it's helpful to read it if there's long output. Anyway, I've got every bit of it saved, but just saved like that. Now there's console with K for KDE. It will not start at your beginning. It will start. It will only hold so many, so many characters, and you'll lose them. But actually, make terminal. I'm turning it into my favorite terminal because of that. That feature right there, and the fact that it doesn't lose any of your long readout. That's a long readout, and you can just at the end you don't have to copy and paste. You just say save contents. So we are updated, and we could say DNF update, and there shouldn't be anything to do. Wait, there's two packages. Okay, what are they? RPM Fusion. Well, let's update them right now before we reboot. Let's see. Warning: user cache update. So and so, so and so. Wants to import a GPG. Fingerprint. Say yes. Okay. Okay, it's complete. Now I'm going to go ahead and save that again. I wasn't thinking as... did I save that on the desktop? No, I didn't. I'm going to overwrite that other file because it's the same file. Same thing, just with a little more. Now I'm ready to reboot. Okay. Very good, very good. Let's see. Close the terminal. Yeah, I got to remember that my new favorite terminal is no longer... well, console was my favorite for long years until I discovered that this one would do even more. I don't think it used to. Mate terminal, I think it just added that feature this last year or so. Or I noticed it in the last year. I want to make sure all's good with my stream while I do my reboot. Okay, system shut down, restart. Okay, I got to pause that over there because what's this? Not responding, unknown not responding, and KRFB. So it never did shut down. And since I don't have, oh, now it's only KRFB. I'm gonna hit cancel. I don't have my good, I don't have anything but Mate System Monitor. Yeah, there's console right there, KONSOLE. But I got Mate System Monitor. I should be able to find KRFB in it. There's 8 cores, and we're only using 873 megabyte of memory, just sitting here like this. Processes, system, and I won't go over that since I can't really see what I'm talking about anyway. Let's go ahead and spread these out enough to read everything, though I can't stand stuff all jumbled up like that. For some reason this doesn't spread out right. I don't know why. Process ID, CPU percent, status, sleeping, running, sleeping, process name, let's put it in that, KRFB, yeah, it says it's sleeping, but it's actually, oh, and there's the in process down there instead of at the top like the one that I like to use, in process. That way, I mean, it would just get killed when you shut down, but okay, it worked. I just wanted to see how badly locked it was, really. CPU, memory, Mate panel's using the most. That's why one of the other reasons why I don't use the Mate panel. 74 point. No, CPU. Yeah. What is using the most? Mate system monitor, 8% of CPU. Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and reboot. And go into it one more time, and then I think I'm going to quit. Hopefully whoever's was in the kitchen is done with their cooking so I can get me some supper. They were probably having their midnight snack. The air's cooled off outside, and it feels good right now. I feel a cool breeze, even though it must be cooling off right now because it's 80.2 in here, but I'm feeling okay right this minute. I've just got a cool breeze. Okay, now we have another kernel, 14.16.5, and that's fast as far as I could get. And one of the first things, let's go ahead and hit a key so we can see one of the first things I want to find out, not tonight, but later I want to find out if that onboard network adapter will work. Of course, I've got the thing in the rack now, and I won't be wanting to take it out, but if it's working, I'll take it out and get that other network card out of there. If not, then I'll have to try one more time to maybe find one that works that I can download and put on there. Only thing is, if it's going to be a proprietary driver, then every time it updates, it could break the network all the time. And, you know, I'll have to install ACMods and KMods to make sure it doesn't update the kernel and break that driver until that driver, new driver, comes out. And that could actually be a security issue. So maybe I don't want to do that. I used to have that problem with the proprietary. I just quit using them because I don't need the 3D support anyway. Actually, there is some 3D support. There's 2D support, and some video adapters there is 3D support in the Linux drivers now. But let's see, KRFB. Let's go ahead and put that up on the panel right now. There we go. And still haven't done any of that KDE wallet stuff yet. That's fine. And it, see, since I didn't do any of that, I don't, my password doesn't get saved. All right, now we should be good to go back over to the other machine and use the remote desktop. Let's make sure we know what the should be the same IP address, nothing changing. Yeah, let's see if anything looks different. Yeah, I didn't automatically see the other adapter yet. If it did, it would have shown it there. So, I mean, well, it sees it. Well, that's right. That was connections. Yeah, and from what I remember, you have to set up a bridge network connection to it sees it, but it can't work right. But yeah, I'll have to really get into it to try to figure out what driver it's trying to use on it and everything else. It sees it. It's not blank. And I don't have a cable plugged into it, so it's not going to connect. So yeah, I'd have to plug it back in to find out if it was going to work. And I definitely don't want to do that tonight. Okay, let's see. I was listening for a minute there to my preview. Okay, there. Remote desktop. Tiger VNC. Ah! Why is it saying no route to host? It's still messed up. But my stream's okay. I know that. I've been checking it. I don't know. I'm ready to quit anyway, so try it with this other one just to see. Connection was closed. I don't know. After a reboot, I expected it to work. Route to host 113. I've seen that error before, but I do not remember how I fixed it or anything. Let's go back to the camera. And I think I'm going to go ahead and quit. That's plenty fun, plenty Linux fun for tonight. I just remembered that I always just say, I'm so used to Linux being, to me, it's like the only operating system in my mind, you know, not the only, but the main one that, and it's, and I don't ever put in my, I got to thinking, you know, I don't have, I mean, your titles, you can only put so many words in there, and of your videos, but in the descriptions, I should be putting Linux in there because people search for Linux, they won't even find it. They have to be searching for Fedora. I put Fedora in there almost every time. KRFB is running, and just says sleeping, but that's the only thing the KRFB has. It doesn't have any other processes that show up. I didn't think it did. So Fedora 27, and I've read this over and over when I've installed it, but I'll wait and kind of look through some more stuff whenever I get the the remote desktop working again. I imagine once I've rebooted my routers and stuff and my other, the machine I'm streaming from, it should all be okay tomorrow, the next time. I had that happen before. I don't remember why. Let's look in the firewall right quick. No, I was going to say I typed it wrong, but I didn't. Okay. I just want to see if anything I might have got, somehow changed. Well, it did. VNC server. So that's what you get when you're, oh, that says runtime. Public is what we're, okay, I want to make it permanent. There's something you got to do. Okay, well, I did it in both, and now this is public, and that's what I'm going to be using. Options. Somewhere, so yeah, the runtime to permanent. So now, if I'm on permanent, VNC server is there now. And I had done it in runtime, so that should still work. Let's see. Yeah, VNC server, runtime to permanent. Well, let's just do it again to make sure. Runtime to permanent. That's the only save you've got in there. So yeah, that now I should be able to. Let's find out if I'm right. I do already have it running, right? Yeah, it's over there running. So go to the desktop again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Now, I'll go in the firewall again. Now, when you get that one error 113 that I got, it had what had happened is, I don't know if the updates caused it or the crash. It might have been the I don't know. The crash of KRFB wouldn't affect the firewall. I guess the update. No, it's not the updates either. I just never saved it. So I did my VNC server. I checked it to allow that port to be open, and it was I guess it was setting there in runtime. I think that's how it always opens up. So then go to options, and the bottom one says runtime to permanent. Now, I've already done that, so I won't do it again. But, and then that's it. Used to be there was a save up here somewhere. So it's all different now. And for some reason they, I guess they default you to public mode thinking, and that's considered the safest mode. But if you go into like home or any of these others, then are trusted or whatever, they're really not any, well, I can go in there, it won't change anything. They're not any different, but you could set all that up. Well, they're different because, see, that's not selected now. So I kept trying to, well, I want to set it on the one I want, like home or trusted or whatever, and it just becomes a pain because it always wants to go back to that public default when you open it up. So, and I'm sure there's ways to change all that, but I just got to where I just put it the way I want it. If it was a laptop, you would want different profiles for sure, if you could remember to use them. But, for different places, it'd be very useful. But a desktop, you're always in the same place, and if you always have the same people around like I do, then, I just set up public the way I want it for always, you know. Then here's that section there I was talking about. You can add specific ports to open and close. Protocols, you could add specific protocols. Like, there's a list of some common ones. And source ports, masquerading, you can use that. Port forwarding. I see MP, I don't remember about all that. Rich rules, I don't know about that. Interfaces, of course there is 2 on here. This is the only one that's working right now. But yeah, it's a lot. That's going to be something I gotta have to watch out for if I do get the onboard network card to working, or network card Ethernet adapter. It's not a card. Then I'll have to pay attention that none of these settings, you know, that they still apply. But there it is right there. Default zone. This adapter in public. You see that could change. I may have to change the default zone to the other adapter later, and I might have to redo my settings. So I won't have to change a lot in here because I'm not going to run any servers on here or anything like that. So other than maybe SSH, so I can get into it to do some things from in here. But I don't like that to go in there. Well, like the remote desktop, I'm not going to have it come on automatically, but I want to be able to turn it on real quick and easy so that I can work. If I want to work on it from in here for an hour or 2 or 3, I can without having to go in there and sit in her room because it's really uncomfortable in there. Her chair's horrible. She likes a straight up chair, and I like a chair that leans. And her chair is small. It's not big enough for me. So anyway, and what I had done here with the installs, the very last part that I didn't get to show. See, I just saved it, this whole terminal session, as a text file. And now if you had anything you want, any commands you wanted, or just to see what happened, if you have errors, it's really helpful when you have errors and you're trying to work through them to get something to work. So I didn't have any errors, so you know I didn't have to worry about that. Where was I when that? I was trying to go. I think I was right. No, I was even below that. There was when that first set installed, and then I don't remember where I had to get on the camera again. Yeah, RPM Fusion. Oh, that's that whole thing again. I'm rolling the mouse wheel, that works. Okay, just get tired of it. Okay, now here's cheese and all those things that I had in my script to install. And then, yeah, there it is, installed. See, it installs, it automatically finds the dependencies. And then RPM Fusion, complete. Trying to see, was that where I said update? No, I hadn't said update yet. So it installed those. I guess it saved them for last, the RPM Fusion, setting those up. And then somewhere, I guess I'm not seeing my command because somewhere in there I said, yeah, I went ahead and typed, oh, there it is right here. Yum update, DNF update. So that is what that is. So it was done, you know, right here it said complete, and it was at the command, you know, at the command prompt, and then I just typed DNF update, and all it had to update was the RPM Fusions after that, because everything else was already updated. So I do want to put that in the last thing in my script. I want it to be, I just wasn't through with it. To be DNF update to make sure it gets everything updated right away. Oh, I rebooted with my backup drive in there. Yeah, it doesn't have any bootable stuff on it, so it doesn't interfere with your update, with your boot up. Although on a couple of times it did just hang up and not do anything. So I was wondering, it doesn't on my system and it didn't on this one just now, because I just now realized it's still plugged in. need to get it plugged back into my machine and reboot it so it can do all its backup, so I can delete all these videos so I won't run out of space on my machine. So anyway, that's what a rundown of what happened while I had to, couldn't show it. So we're well off to a good start. Now there's all those, there's some groups I may want to install. I'll look through and see. And there's all those, let's see if you can see what, it's going to be very obvious what I installed. Well, there's GwenView, Photox, and iMate Viewer might have already been in there. And now we have Chromium. Add to the panel. Where'd it go? There it is. And there's a new, looks like there may be a new remote, not, it might have already been there, remote desktop viewer. There's Thunderbird. I won't put that up there until I'm ready to open it, because I'll just click on it without thinking. Because I have to import, last thing I'll do before I'm done is to import her Chromium profile, her Thunderbird profile. And see, we already have LibreOffice, but that's all we got. And Clause Mail, I usually just leave it on there because there are sometimes, well, for her I might take it off. For me, I leave those extra ones on there because sometimes you run into an email file that you might want to look at, and it'll open it up when Thunderbird won't, like maybe some old Windows ones or something. But or maybe you downloaded something off the internet, turned out to be an email file, She's Webcam, it's a good one, and GUCV is a good one, even though she probably won't ever use Webcam. And GTK Record My Desktop's really good. Of course, I use OBS Studio, but it's quick and lightweight. If you needed to, maybe you got a problem you want to show. Like say I could record it and send it to myself so I could look through it. I never did like Pro Media Player, but not long recently it played something that VLC wasn't playing, so I may leave it on there. And Checkroot Kit, that's a good thing to have. ClamAV, good thing to have. And Lucky Backup. And that's all I've got on there now so far. But there's going to need to be a little more than that. Move. Now we have Firefox and Chromium. Chromium, only, it looks just like Chrome, or Chrome looks just like Chromium, but it has a blue beach ball instead of a red and yellow beach ball. It's never been opened before. It should open a little faster than that, I think, once it's been opened before. Okay, it's going to have the Fedora homepage. Now, see there, it actually takes you to the Google Chrome page. It's trying to get you to download it. Well, we've already got Chromium. We don't need that, so I definitely won't want that as one of my home pages. It may not come back up. I don't know. I just wanted to open it once for now. Okay. Yeah, there's. Oh yeah, I'm doing desktop sharing. Okay, that's right. That's F9. F8. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down from here, and should just close the app. It should shut down like it's supposed to. Yep, close the app. And it should, oh, it's already down. Okay, so that part's already fixed, that shutdown problem that we was having. That was probably because, well, the live system was doing the same thing, though. I started to say it's probably because I had installed the Fedora 27 on the old system, before, but no, I was doing it on the live system, too. So, I'm going to check my stream health before I go. My allergies are creeping back up again. I probably couldn't talk much longer anyway. And now, even if I can't get the onboard, network interpreter to work, I'll still be able to. It'll be good. I think it's going to be a good system with this one this D-Link network card that I put in there. But I would, I'm going to try to fix it another time or two before I give up on it, because it works with Fedora 26 and the dual core system. It worked in this new 8-core system with XP of all things, right off the bat there. So I just think it's a matter of finding the right driver. Well, I know it is really now. I don't know why it's so hard to find it, but Unless there's absolutely just not one for... No, there's one for Fedora 26. Why wouldn't there be? Why couldn't you just run that if you need to? Of course, that could be a problem. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so usually it's Wi-Fi drivers you have troubles with, not wired connections, not wired Ethernet adapters. So, and of course I want to do some hardware tests and stuff on it. The only one that I know the only one I've been able to find is the one that's in Part of Magic, and I did run it already once. But actually, well, I might run it again. We'll see. I'd like to see. Well, I want to see if I can install it on Fedora. Try it again. I think I've tried over and over and can't find anything available to do that. Even to run it in portable standalone mode. Hard Info, that's the name of it. But anyway, I'm going to go now, eat my supper, and yeah, it's 1:48 a.m. now, so definitely time to quit. Yeah, because I went to bed at 3. Well, I ain't be going to bed by 3 tonight, am I? Well, if I just don't worry about it anymore. If I push my schedule forward, then I'll be up on days before I know it. And I try to stay that. I really like it better, getting up in the morning around sun up or something. If I can get up no later than 9, I really like my day a lot better, I even like getting up at like 4 in the morning. There was a couple of weeks here recently where I was getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I liked it because I beat everyone else up. And but then you got to go to bed while everybody's still watching TV and everything else. Sometimes it's hard to go to sleep, but and the sun's not even down, Especially pretty soon the sun won't be down until 9:30, here in North Texas. So I just do my thing and rotate. My schedule just rotates like a carousel. Okay. Well, I'll be back probably tomorrow. Let's see, this is Wednesday. This is Wednesday, okay. So, yeah. Thursday evening, I might have Jeff, we'll see. He may come over to get his cassette back and the files, the digitizing that I did for him with that cassette tape. We'll see if he makes it. All right. Bye-bye.